All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this video if you guys enjoy this educational content of me breaking down the NASDAQ as well as gold and any other assets. I also teach one-on-one as well as in group. If you want access to that, go ahead and look in the description below. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So it was just recently Thanksgiving, and you can see Thanksgiving is not a good time to trade. Like, look at the price action during Thanksgiving. We have this huge consolidation. So if you were in any of this, you probably did not have a good day. But breaking this down, we have a 1 hour break of structure right here, and it's a little bit more clear on the 30-minute time frame. So we can put a 30-minute break of structure right here, and then you end up getting a consolidation within that range from this low to this high, and then we get a breakout right here, retesting the middle of the range and then going higher. So coming up further, we can see that we get a 15-minute break of structure right here, and then a 15-minute break of structure right here. So after seeing that 15-minute break of structure, we can then go down to a lower time frame and try to find an entry within today's price action. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer in. I did not trade today's price action because I just didn't want to risk it. It was the day after Thanksgiving. I'm giving the market time to balance out and maybe take out some of these lows right here, because that's a lot of liquidity to the downside that we had potential to target. So 15-minute break of structure, we break and close above. And so now this is the range that we're playing in from this low to this high. And you can see all you really have to do in trading is look for a strong push and then a correction into that level, and then the continuation to the upside. And I believe, I have not watched any of ICC's content, but I believe this is just the indication, correction, continuation. Or in this case, it will be the indication, and this is the correction, and then this is the continuation. But a lot of the things you learn are simply the same, but you have to make it make sense to you. So I call it impulse, correction, impulse. Same thing. I can name it I am I. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter, but he's teaching people. So as long as you're learning, that's what matters. So we get a 15-minute break of structure to the upside. Now we start looking on the lower time frame for a reason to enter the market. So right here, you can see we have a strong impulse back to the upside from here to here. This would be a break of structure on the 1 minute. As you can see right here, boom, we get a break of structure. We create a demand inside of this area. Now, if we go to the 30-second, this would also give me some things to look for. So we had this sell, buy, sell. This was a supply level. We ended up breaking through it, and so now demand is in control. So this was a demand that was created that we had not tapped into yet right here. And so now we end up coming back into it, getting a rejection to the upside. And since we're bullish on the 15-minute time frame, we can take that second candle close entry, stop loss below the low, and our take profit at that 15-minute high for a 2R trade. And you can see we never came back to stop loss, but if you did set price to break even, then you would have got stopped out before it completely ran, I think further to the upside. So it ran for a total of 5.5 R, and that is the NASDAQ being broken down. So now let's go to gold and break gold down. Gold was definitely a lot easier to break down, and I broke this down twice now, but my computer glitched out. So going back to the 15-minute time frame, you can see Thanksgiving price action once again, trash. You do not want to trade this. So boom, we get a consolidation. We ended up breaking out of this consolidation, retesting the support or the demand that was created, and then going higher. So on the 15-minute, we get a 15-minute break of structure to the upside right here. 15 minute break of structure. We have that strong push in price from this low to this high. We have imbalance inside of that range as well in two different spots. And then this is the liquidity that was taken before the impulse to the upside, which further validates this demand zone as being valid. So we literally have everything for this demand zone to be valid. So now we can go down to the lower time frame and look for a reason to enter the market. So this is the 1 minute time frame. We ended up getting a consolidation in this area. We get a break of structure, or with a wick on the 1 minute, 1 minute break of structure, and sweep. And then within this consolidation, you can also just see really, and I'm gonna delete that. You can see that there was just a breakout within the highs right here. So we have the lower highs being created with this trend line. Then we have higher lows being created. And that's essentially how you look for a breakout setup. So if we're expecting a buy already from the higher time frames price action, once we get that break and close out of that consolidation, that can be your entry or buy signal with your stop loss below the consolidation and your take profit at that high that you are looking for. Now you can see the price is moving down slow in a decently corrective way. Like we keep mitigating the supplies, and that's a good sign that you're going to hit your TP. Now you can see this was a 4R trade. If we go over and we look, we can see that it ran for about 7.6 R. Excuse me. So that would have been another beautiful trade for the day, but we chose not to trade today. We chose to just play it smart, play it safe. And the reason for that is because if we look at all of my accounts right now, I'm doing well. And I want to continue to do well and make the right choices. So I locked myself out of all my accounts. We have the lowest account at 51.3K profit. And these are combines. And then the next one is 51.9K. So 1.9K profit. Next one, almost 9K profit again. Next one, 1.8K profit. And then my live account is up 215. So we're just playing it smart, playing it safe, taking the trades that make sense. I did take a buy as well as a sell on my options account on Robinhood. And I ended up taking a small win, a quick win on the NASDAQ. But then I ended up trying to get in for sales, but we just did not have the volume today to really take us back down. And that's perfectly fine. But I think I got in for a sale around, where was it? I think maybe around here or around here. Yeah, I think maybe around like here, because I wanted to see the trend line that we had created break and then continue to the downside. But you can see we kind of maintained the trend line more than broke it. And then we pushed back to the upside. So that's perfectly fine. I took a small loss of like $10. So I'm still teaching. I'm in the process of teaching myself options right now. So I'm taking small trades and small wins, small losses. But I did have a nice win the other day. And let's see if I can pull it up. And that was on Nvidia, based off of what was it? Based off of the NASDAQ. I believe the NASDAQ was going to go up. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to take a Nvidia call, and I'm about to send this to my computer just so you guys can see it. If you were here in the last episode, then you would have also seen it already. But it was based off of the NASDAQ being bullish last week. And let me see if I can find that price action. I believe it was either in here or in here. It was one of these spots. But let me see. Either way, I believed the NASDAQ was going to be bullish. And I think it could have been based off this sweep and then this candle close. I took a buy on Nvidia. and I made, let me pull it up now, $124 off of that one trade, 182% return. So I invested essentially $68 and I made 192. I got 192 back. So if you subtract 68 from 128, then that gives you the profit that I made off of this trade. And so that was my biggest options play so far. I held it basically overnight for I think just one day, and then I sold at the open, because the open, you can typically get like a gap up or a gap down in prices and things like that. So that is all for this video, essentially. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, I have a Discord link down in the description, and I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.